In this video, we will review the solution to the lab Mixing HTML and PHP. We start by opening the file cart.php. We will now insert variables representing quantity and price. We now need to locate the input field where the quantity is represented. This would be inside the value attribute of the input tag. Inside this, we need to insert a PHP tag which will echo the value of $quantity1. It's very important to remember to close the tag. We will now do something similar for the price. In this case, however, the price will be using a printf statement. The reason why we use printf is to maintain uniformity of space. Likewise, we can represent the extended price, which is quantity times price. We will now replicate these three statements in the other three blocks. Of course, we need to also adjust the variable names. So the second block has variable quantity2 and price2. And the third block has quantity3 and price3. We are now ready to represent the total. The total can be represented as a combination of quantity times price for each of the three values. We then need to update the variable names. So now we have quantity1, price1, 2, and 3, and we now have the total, which represents quantity times price, added for each of the three blocks. We can also use strings to represent the name, the phone number, the fax number, and the email address. We then need to find the location where total, name, phone, fax, and email are represented within the document. The name is represented towards the top. Again, like before, we use an embedded PHP tag. We can then copy this tag and move down to the bottom where the phone number, the fax, and email are represented. And then, of course, we have to make sure that we don't forget the total. For the total, we will use a printf statement as well. The field, however, will be 10 digits instead of 8. We saved the file, and now we're ready to test. It's important to note that mistakes would include not closing the PHP tag, forgetting the comma, forgetting the opening or closing parenthesis, and also, in the case of printf, an improper format string. However, if it's an improper format string, usually you will see no output at all. We move over to the browser, and we can now test. So as you see, we have the name represented here. And further down, we can see the quantities, the prices, the extension, and the total. Now, if we go and make a few changes, so for example, change the name to Joe, and change the quantity on number 3 to 33. Let's make quantity 2 22 and quantity 1 11. Save the file, go to the browser, refresh, and as you can see, the extended price and the total have now been updated, as well as the username at the top. One last thing remains to be done, and that's to provide cross-links between the cart and the index file. So while we're in cart, we can change the cross-link for home back to index.php. We need to do that at the bottom as well. And now we need to open up the index.php and provide a cross-link back. So we open up index.php, locate the link for the shopping cart, change the extension to PHP, save the cart. Now if we go back to our browser and refresh, we now hit home, we're back to index.php. If we click on shopping cart, we go back to cart.php. So now, although it is still primarily HTML, it's now under the control of PHP, and we have some degree of interactivity. This concludes the solution for the lab on mixing HTML and PHP.